use of gas was a new and terrifying weapon which added to the toll. Not the least of the medical problems faced was caused by what the British Tommies called trench fever, a typhus-like disease. It was a former...
On July 21st, the 24th Division pulled out of Teja. They had fought the last of their lonely, delaying actions. They had fought for time and won, but it was not a victory to rejoice.
The Korean War was a proxy war fought between North Korea, supported by the Soviet Union, and South Korea, supported by U.S. Armed Forces, from June 25, 1950 to July 1953. The war began when North Korean troops pushed past the 38th parallel, spurring retaliatory military action from South Korea.
The Korean War is often regarded as the first true military conflict of the Cold War. A total of 5.8 million Americans served in the Korean War, with a total of 36,634 American casualties during the war itself. The American forces consisted of a majority of the United Nations combined forces that served in Korea. The Korean War Memorial is a tribute to the 5.8 million Americans who served in the U.S. military during the 3-year conflict. There is a cost to freedom, but that freedom is worth that cost.
It's good. He think that living a lifestyle is good. In Lincoln Memorial and let him break any spirit from the kingdom of darkness. We lose any principality that has been holding the souls of people captive from running away from you, Lord Jesus.
Located next to the Lincoln Memorial, the Korean War Memorial is situated snugly on a hill on the National Mall. The memorial is dedicated to the hundreds of thousands of fallen soldiers, a striking comparison to the Vietnam War Memorial, which is situated directly across the reflecting pool. It's a place to reflect upon international history, which is well suited since it's also near the World War II Memorial.
When someone first walks into the Korean War Memorial, they see 19 statues of American soldiers in Korea, all representing the different races and ethnicities of those who served in the Korean War. You can see granite strips that represent the rice paddies in the area that the soldiers had to fight. The 19 soldiers are reflected off of a wall, which makes it appear as though there are actually 38 soldiers, which is a significant number for this war. The illusion of 38 soldiers is a metaphor for the 38 months of war and for the original border between North and South Korea being the 38th parallel.
The main argument of the memorial can be seen on a wall next to the Pool of Remembrance. Freedom is not free. The cost of freedom is evident throughout the memorial, starting from the Wall of Remembrance, which lists the names of tens of thousands of Americans who lost their lives while fighting in Korea. Though the South Koreans had gained a new freedom, tens of thousands of American soldiers had lost their lives in the conflict. It acts as an appeal to pathos with the sheer amount of names of dead American veterans, showing the visitors one of the many costs of freedom, the costs of lives.
Cost of the memorial is furthermore supported by text next to the Pool of Remembrance that shows the statistics of those who served, the number of soldiers killed, captured, and missing during the war.
The price of lives is a prominent cost of freedom as seen throughout the memorial. With this information, the Korean War Memorial makes an appeal to logos, showing the logical cost of freedom, the tens of thousands of people who served and died, who are honored by the visitors.
Time to adjust the camera.
He's just setting up his camera to focus. So, where are you from? Are you native here?
No, I'm from Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So hi, what are your names? Matt.
And
Adrian Moore.
Adrian Moore, where are you from?
I'm originally from New York. I currently live in Baltimore, Maryland.
What story is this memorial telling in your opinion?
It's reminding people of what this country went through to get where we are today.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that the sign says it pretty well, that freedom isn't free. And it's just a really incredible reminder of people who have given their life for me to be here today.
It's honoring the lives of the veterans who served and gave their lives.
In the Korean War.
In the
Right.
Korean War.
How do you think the story this memorial tells would differ if it were told from another perspective? Maybe from the Korean perspective, how their freedoms they gained freedom and with the help of the United States and the United Nations. How do you think they might tell this story, and how do you think they might feel about it?
They were liberated, I guess, by our service and the UN service.
Right.
And then it probably depends on the generation. You know, today's generation versus the generation that, I guess,
Was in the war.
that was actually in the war.
Or impacted by the war.
There's fewer and fewer of the Korean, both sides of people who are alive during that conflict. So that's kind of an interesting point as far as there's going to be differences.
I think that they would be surprised to see how they're being remembered.
For me, coming to this monument, my grandpa fought in the Korean War. He was a paratrooper. And so it means something, I think, a little different to me that just honors him and honors his memory.
And you're talking to two people that have both of our dads were
We're in the
Korean
Korean War vets.
Oh,
Our
wow.
fathers
Okay.
were Korean
Both
War
fathers.
vets,
Okay,
yeah.
so you have a personal connection to
Yes.
the memorial.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So does that make it mean anything more to you, or does it?
And I think, as far as you said, generations, I think it needs to be, a living thing that each generation is taught how their impact is increasing their liberty, everybody's liberties.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And these walls, when you see the names, if you were to think about if you put this many people together, what the volume of people who died,
Right.
it's astronomical to say, wow.
It's unfathomable.
Yeah.
It is.
The
It's
amount.
unfathomable.
And what do you think about the location of the memorial? Do you think like it affects it? What do you think about the memorials around it as well?
I like the fact that they try to have, all the folks who did serve and died, they're being honored and that their names are inscribed, in the stone that's surrounding the area. So,
Thank you.
That's it? Yeah, great. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Have a
Yeah,
good day.
Thank you. Thank you for
Seen in this scene is an example of how people paid respect to the monument. Whenever a group of veterans come by, they leave flowers and honor the deceased by coming to this memorial. This is an important part of how visitors interact with the monument, especially because veterans are the ones usually leaving these flowers.
Another cost seen in the memorial is at the United Nations curb. The curb has a list of every country that aided or participated in the war, appealing to the credibility of the monument. It uses ethos to show the price other countries had to pay for South Korea's freedom. Each of these countries fought North Korea or gave medical aid to those fighting. Although this war is often known as the Forgotten War, the fact that people went out of their way to visit this memorial and pay respects truly shows that the freedom was worth it.
They withdrew. These were familiar words now, words that could sap a fighting spirit. But they could hope now that this would be the last withdrawal.
The Korean War Veterans Memorial serves as a testament to the costs of war. Especially now, the message of the monument has only been amplified by the many conflicts that have occurred from the time of its construction to the present day. Conflicts such as the Ukrainian War and the war in Afghanistan have served to display the price that humanity has paid to secure human rights through the channel of peace. And as we move into the future, we can only pray that humankind remembers the phrase, "Freedom is not free," as a testament to the price that South Koreans, as well as others throughout history, paid to fight for their basic human rights.